Hello, everyone. My name is Peter Loshak. It's Friday, February 28th. Thanks for participating in these shows. It's been a lot of fun for me, and there have been some ups and downs as far as the picks have been concerned. Last 2 days, though, have been quite up in the show. Very relieved to say that. I'm not trying to jinx myself or anything. I'm just saying they've been up. Thank God. Huge shout out to everyone. Today, of course, we have the normal, relatively comfortable handful of Friday games. We are going to look at the MAC game coming up maybe immediately. I'll have to check. And then we can talk a little bit about conferences if you want to. I have looked a little bit into conferences in general. Of course, which conferences might be undervalued, overvalued, underrated, overrated. Heading into the postseason is always something that is interesting. Maybe a little bit less valuable than people like to talk about, but definitely valuable, definitely valuable when you're filling out your brackets. More so, of course, when you're talking about individual game odds, individual game spreads, especially since there's so many more minor postseason tournaments now. There's a lot of matchups between these teams, and the relative strengths of the conferences definitely matters when it comes to a possible point spread value in those games. And I have done some preliminary research into that, and I'm very happy to share it with you. We happy few here on a Friday. But first, let's look at the just quickly look at the MAC game. I did take Ohio in the over. Let's see how that's going. Oh, nice. Yes, I don't care if you don't believe me. I took Ohio in the over, which is looking good. We'll see how it is at halftime. And, of course, this week has been the best example of all that I can of any week in recent memory of what college basketball is all about, baby, right? Something that looks like a guaranteed winner in the first half, in the second half, turns out to fall completely flat on its face. That happened in the Rutgers game. It happened in the Maryland game. It happened, of course, in the Duke game. And so we'll see. Georgia Southern and Georgia State. I did take Georgia Southern. I did take that. I think I wanted to take the Georgia Southern team total over, but I forgot or not to take it or something. But I definitely took Georgia Southern plus 5.5. Penn Yale I passed on. It'll be interesting to see what that is second half. Yale is definitely a team that I'm not looking to bet against in any way, shape, or form right now, and they might be they're the kind of team that I will definitely be willing to bet on a second half line of like -10 if they're down at the half, after having been a big favorite at the start of the game. I did take a shot with Cornell plus 1.5. Now their big leading scorer has been out for the past 2 games, and I'm not sure if he's in tonight or not, but my numbers said take Cornell either way. Again, they're down now. We'll see what that situation is at halftime. We're very interested to see what's going on there. Harvard, Columbia, I passed on. I kind of took today off a little bit because yesterday I was so happy that the picks went well and got caught up on work and did some conference research. So I didn't bet these games and research them as heavily as I normally would. I definitely wanted to pull the trigger on Columbia, but I didn't. Of course, the first game they played was very contentious, very tight, and this one figured to be the same way. Columbia getting 8.5 points, but I didn't. I wish I had, because they're winning right now. Wright State, Northern Kentucky, totally passed on that one, but that game definitely has second half written all over it, and we will cover that in tonight's show. Quinnipiac, Fairfield, I did take Fairfield, pretty big, and a small shot with the under as well. That one, again, might also have second half written all over it, and we'll see. Davidson, Dayton, complete pass for me. Dayton, a very interesting team. We can talk about them in a little bit if you want. Siena and Marist. Siena Marist is the game where I took under, and that one's going super high scoring. I also used Siena a little bit as well. Princeton Brown, also a complete pass, and that game might have second half written all over it also. All right, so the Kent State Ohio game, halftime still has a few minutes to go. The last 3 games on the card are pretty interesting. Monmouth and Rider and Texas State and Arlington. I passed on both of them. Texas State and Arlington are both teams that I definitely don't want to bet against right now. Earlier in the year, I did mention that Arlington was having some injury issues, and I predicted that in later in the season, in February and maybe January, they would start to turn it around ATS wise, and that basically did come to pass. They had a bunch of losses, of course, but overall they've been cashing more often than not recently, and I'm pretty sure that if you go back to like mid-January, Arlington has a nicely positive ATS record. So I don't want to bet against them here. Obviously, Texas State in great form right now. Definitely don't want to bet against them either. That game has second half written all over it. And my numbers indicated that the over might have some value, even though they're two relatively slow-paced teams. I didn't bet that one yet, though, but my numbers indicated that the over was a play. And the Monmouth game is kind of interesting and weird. Monmouth and Ryder both play kind of an up-tempo pace, but they're kind of inefficient and unreliable offensively. So I can totally understand why the total was high and got bet up. I don't want the over on that one for sure. Don't want to take the under either. Probably has second half written all over it also. So that'll be a play that maybe I'll look to take a shot with on the second half. Again, my numbers had very low confidence when it came to the Monmouth Ryder game, but inside myself, when I looked at it, I thought high confidence for a possible play at halftime on that one. So those two games pass for me, and definitely they have second half written all over it. Washington, a very interesting team. Let's see if the MAC game is at halftime yet. Nope. Washington, this game I did take a small shot on the under with, and I did get kind of a bad number. I got 137.5, I think. Got bet up to 139, and now it's gotten bet down just a little bit. So I took a shot with the under. Washington State lost their starting point guard a few games ago, and that has really affected them offensively. But I'm guessing that because of the line movement that he's in, I'm going to have to check again. I'm guessing that because of the line movement that he's in. That's okay, though. I'm still okay with having taken the over. Of course, Washington plays a tough zone defense that sometimes results in wins, sometimes results in losses, but usually results in modest scoring games when teams like Washington State are trying to beat it. So I took a shot with the under, and Washington is an interesting case of a team. We talked about them in a bunch of shows recently. Let me pull up the sheet for the MAC, though. Washington, of course, lost 9 out of 10 games ATS in a row, something ridiculous like that. They had all kinds of turmoil on the team. Hold on, let me pull this up. All right, it's at halftime. All right, let's look at this. We'll talk about Washington after we look at this Kent State Ohio game here on a Friday. Huge shout out to everyone. We happy few. I hope that I can provide a little bit more winning analysis here to the happy few who are tuning in right now. I'm beat, exhausted, but I feel good. Feel like I have a good handle on college basketball. Definitely looking forward to the weekend in spots where I mostly just sleep and then hit random second half lines as I feel like it if they appeal to me. Prepare for the upcoming week. All right, here we go. Pick them in 75. Let's see. Pick them in 75. Let's see if I'm going to do anything. The numbers, nothing. Yeah, nothing. Nothing. Very small lean to the over at 75. The spread, basically nothing. The spread, literally almost basically nothing. Wow, just jumped to 75.5, the total. Fuck. Maybe I should have pulled the trigger on that. Yeah, the numbers like the over a little bit. They like it at 75.5 as well, but a little bit less. I already have play on the over at 141, and a play on Ohio at 1.5. I think I got. Over 75.5. 75 would have been a lot nicer. Numbers like it a little bit. Let me just look a little bit more into this, a little more deeply into this. And then I can make a final decision. If it is a play at 75 or 75.5, it will be graded small or medium small, probably just small. Let me see what we got. Let me just check something here. Let me just mess around with some of these columns, rows and columns and shit. Let's see what, yeah. Nope, now it's dropped back down. 75 still available probably at various places. I could line shop around if I wanted to, which maybe I will. For the purposes of this show, to keep a fast pace, a brisk pace, I just use one book to quote numbers. Let me just look around here just a little bit. Might have an official play on the over at 75 or so. Might not. Let me just look into this a little bit, and then we'll get back to a discussion of Washington, and we can talk about conferences, because I did do a little bit of numbers crunching and looking around at stuff about conferences. Let me just look at this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I might make the over a play here. Don't go crazy if I make it official, but oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, it dropped back down to 75. All right, I'll make that an official play. Over 75, an official play. An official play. Over 75. Over 75. Not a good sign that it dropped back down, but we'll take it. Kent State, Ohio, over 75, official play. Let me decide what I want to grade it. Might grade it medium small. Small or medium small. Small or medium small. It's right in the middle according to the numbers here. Small or medium small. Let me just check one other thing here. One other quick thing. Yeah. Could go either way. I could go either way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right. We'll just grade it small. What the hell? Grade it small. There should probably be some medium graded plays in the upcoming 7 o'clock Eastern time tip-off games. Kent State, Ohio, over 75, official play, but just graded small. Although it was borderline medium small. Spread absolutely nothing. And a very small lean to the over on both of the team totals as well at 37.5 each. Those won't be official plays. Very small leans to both of them, though. $37.5 each. Okay. Over 75, official play, but graded small. All right, fine. Good. Let me just get my bearings here for a second, and then we continue our discussion, fun discussion of Washington conferences in general. Okay. Go to the comment section to see what people might have to say. Shout out to everyone. Alex Ramirez, Brooklyn Funk Project. Shout out to you. Rich G giving his pick short card tonight. Only a few plays. Davidson plus 10.5. I can't disagree with that. I can't agree with it either. I definitely passed on that game. Davidson, as you know, one of those teams that I talk about as a team that has that underachieved to start the year, turned a corner. But why am I repeating myself? In theory, the strategy is repeat myself so that the new viewers who are watching can become acclimated. But there ain't any new viewers, right? There ain't any new viewers watching right now. So fuck it. I'm not going to repeat myself. You all know what I have to say. Huge shout out to everyone. We happy few. All right, so Davidson plus 10.5. I don't agree with it or disagree with it. I understand it, and I hope you cash. We'll look at the second half. Georgia Southern plus 5. Yes, I got 5.5. But I agree with it, and I'm on it. Monmouth Rider over 150. Yeah, I can't disagree with it. Although you should have hit the opener at 147 because there weren't that many games. 150. These lines, getting the best line, especially for the game like that, does matter. But Brooklyn Funk Projects likes the 10, agrees with 10.5. Monmouth Rider over 150. Yeah, they play. My numbers suggested very low confidence with the total there, but they're just unreliable offensively, both teams, kind of. But yeah, I hope you cash, and I definitely might have a strong second half play on that one when it comes up. Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern. Rich G, remember what you said on opening line value, Pete? Yeah, I do. Turns out I was totally wrong. I spent like 5 minutes in the show mocking closing line value on the Rutgers Penn State game or whatever game that was. Totally got it shoved back in my face, didn't I? No, you got to. No, yes, it's closing line value is something that is a very interesting topic, but there's no question that you win and lose so many of these games by a half point, a point. If you know which way if you have a way of figuring where the market's going to go on a certain game or a certain type of bet, whether or not you believe in closing line value or not, always pull the trigger and get the best line that you possibly can, or line shop around to do it, because time and time again, you'll fucking win and lose bets by a half point and a point. So Alex Quayle, it seems like everyone's all over Davidson tonight. Scares me a little bit. Yeah. I mean, my numbers didn't indicate an edge either way. I can certainly understand a play on Davidson, can certainly understand a play on Dayton, and we'll look at that one second half. I totally passed on that one. So again, Rich G, Georgia Southern. Yes, I'm on that one as well. 5.5. Penn, passed on that one. Totally passed on that one. Let's see what's going on in that game right now. Penn. Yeah. Wow. Nice call, Rich G. Possibly I might have a play on Yale at halftime, even if the number's like 9 or 9.5. We'll see. We'll see what the numbers say. But Yale is obviously a beast of a team. Class of the Ivy League. Great call, Rich G, taking Penn. I passed on that one. Totally passed on that one. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, Penn beat him the last time. And maybe Penn has their number in some way. Yale just had an off night that night offensively, which one would think is not likely to continue. We'll see what the halftime situation is there in about 10 minutes. All right, let's see what else do we have here. Shout out to everyone. All right, you want to talk conferences? You guys want to hear what I have to say about conferences? We happy few. We very few. We extremely happy, very few. All right. Whoever's listening, good. I hope the fewer people who are listening and ever hear what I have to say, the more valuable it proves to have been long term. Conferences that I might think that I'm looking at to maybe be overrated, overvalued postseason. MVC, the Pac-12. The Pac-12 is not a surprise to anyone. Everyone kind of knows the Pac-12 is onto the Pac-12 being overrated, and I definitely feel that way myself. Stanford, probably an overrated team. Probably well coached. They're probably overachieving, and there's something probably fundamental to that. But in general, I have the Pac-12, the MVC, and the Atlantic 10, all as conferences that are vaguely overrated, according to my research here. Maybe I'll look at the conferences and look for individual teams that might particularly be overrated from those conferences. But in general, MVC, Atlantic 10, Pac-12, I'm thinking of those as overrated conferences. Underrated conferences. Big Ten, very strong conference. I think a lot of people are sort of onto that one as well. I don't know. I don't know what Twitter thinks, and I don't know what the general betting population thinks. I don't follow exactly what the opinions are the people who tend to be giving. My sense is that a lot of people feel like the Big Ten is underrated, and I would agree with that. Maybe I'm wrong though. Big Ten underrated. Conference USA underrated a little bit. Sun Belt a bit underrated. Big 12 and Mountain West a little bit underrated as well. Those are all conferences that I have in general as circled as possibly underrated conferences heading into the postseason. The WAC as well. Look out for New Mexico State, depending, of course, on the matchups, depending, of course, on the numbers, what the situation is. But look out for New Mexico State possibly having betting value, especially if they're a big dog, which, or a small dog, which is possible, depending on the situation and the matchup. So again, Big Ten, Conference USA, Sun Belt, Big 12, Mountain West, and the WAC. All conferences that I have circled and have my eye out for as possibly underrated. Overrated, MVC, Atlantic 10, the Colonial, the Pac-12. Those are from the major conferences. From the minor conferences, MEAC. That's a shitty conference, and I also think they might be overrated, as bad as they are. You might see some MEAC teams in the small conferences, the CIT or whatever, CBI. They might be good fades in those conferences. I have the MEAC as shitty and still not being given credit for being shitty enough, not being given enough credit for how shitty they are. Patriot League, overrated, overvalued, according to my numbers. Underrated, undervalued. Southland Conference, a bit underrated, possibly, according to my numbers here. Atlantic Sun, A-Sun, maybe a little bit undervalued, underrated. We can look at some of the individual teams, see if any of you have any opinions on that. Having a good conversation here. Let's see. Let's see. Dan Kelly, Pac-12 overrated for the past 40 years. Yeah. Yes. So is that going to continue again in 2020? I think so, according to my numbers. I think so. Having said that, tonight's team, Washington, possibly a team with betting value, maybe in the conference tournament, right? Washington, of course, lost before their last win against Cal, which is an impressive win. I did, I don't know if I mentioned yesterday, but I did take Cal plus, yeah, of course I mentioned it. I forgot. Yeah, of course. I mentioned it. I mentioned that I had Cal and the team total over at 60 in the show yesterday. Nice win over Cal. Before that, they had lost 7 or 8 in a row straight up, and ATS. Just a complete disaster of a program in January and February. So I don't know what the market's going to price them as in the conference tournament, but they may have some value. Of course, again, they play that zone. If they're a big dog against someone, games might be surprisingly low scoring and tighter than expected. So I'm going to keep my eye out for Washington having possible betting value in the conference tournament, right? I like the coach. I like their style of play for a team that has underachieved, for a team that's going to be an underdog. And they're young, which is another boost for a team like Washington late, right? They have some top freshmen. They had that guy Green went out. He was ruled academically ineligible, I think, and that hurt him. So you got a lot of factors collecting around Washington as being a team with possible betting value in the postseason, in the conference tournament, and then beyond if they play in any other tournament after that. You have a team that plays a style of defense that can be tough against even quality teams. A coach that knows what the fuck he's doing. A team that faced a little bit of adversity in crunch time because of roster issues or injury issues, and a team that has quality freshmen, and a team that finished the year at the bottom of the standings. So all those things sort of collect and paint a picture of me as a team that might have some nice betting value in the postseason. But Pac-12 in general, I have them as likely to be overrated once again in 2020. All right, let's look at some comments. Let's look at the situation for the halftime. So 7 o'clock games. Nasty Nate was on Dayton first half. Shout out to you. Dan Kelly says, pretty sure they were in the Pac-10 then. Nasty Nate, Pete, did you get your eyebrows done? Good eye, Nasty Nate. Good eye, Nasty Nate. No, I tried. I did some initial grooming and looking around in the mirror, strategizing for a possible image change at some point in the near future when the calendar turns. Yeah, I did do a little bit of work. Not done. I didn't get it done. I look in the mirror once every 6 weeks or something. And yeah, that happened recently. Shout out to you, Nasty Nate. All right. Any comments or opinions or questions on conferences? Let me know. All right. Let's close all this stuff out and let's start preparing for the halftime lines that are coming up. Let me just open everything. Of course, the Ivy League games often catch you by surprise, starting a few minutes earlier than some of the others. Pull those up. Yep, they're already at halftime. Okay. Cornell game already at halftime. All right, let's get ready. Let's jump into this. Let's jump right into this. Cornell game. Let's see if the lines are up. Huge shout out to everyone. Nope, not up yet, but we're going to get ready here. We're going to get ready here. Let's see who we got. We happy few. Massive shout out to everyone. Sun Belt, conference that might be a little bit undervalued. Underrated. Possibly. We'll see. Fairfield down. Wow, okay. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the second half. Fairfield, we've had plays on Fairfield before in these Friday shows. Let me just find the other one, the last one I need to pull up. Huge shout out to Nasty Nate. Wow, who's on Dayton first half. Great call. And here we go. Cornell, 1-66.5. Let's look at this. Cornell, 1-66.5. Yeah, that guy is out for, okay. Lean to Cornell, leading to the Dartmouth team total under at 33. I'm definitely going to bet that. We'll make that an official play. A little bit iffy, but we'll make it an official play. Going to be cutting it close, but that's okay. Dartmouth under 33. Official play. Dartmouth team total under 33. The numbers actually like it medium. I'm going to grade it medium small, though. Medium small. Dartmouth under 33. Official play graded medium small, although the numbers like it medium. And the numbers also like Cornell a bit. They like Cornell a bit. 1-145. Wow, is that a real money line? 145. That shouldn't be. Let me do a little bit of line shopping here. Let's see. We'll make. I'm seeing 145 on the money line, and the numbers don't like that. So we'll make Cornell -1 an official play. Cornell -1 official play. I dropped to 140 there, but okay. Cornell -1 official. Cornell -1 is an official play. The numbers like this one also medium. Yeah, the numbers like this one also medium. We'll grade it medium small, though, since it's correlated with the other one. All right, so Cornell -1 graded medium small, and Dartmouth team total under 33 graded medium small. And the total very small lean to the under, but we're not going to take that. Okay, now let's look at Yale Penn. Let's look at it. Shout out to Rich G for nailing Penn at least first half. Okay, let's see. 8-77. Wow, interesting. 8-77. Yeah, well, the numbers like the under. That one's probably going to get bet down. Let me do a little bit of digging first. Numbers do like the under, though. Interesting. Let me just dig around a little bit here. Numbers like the under, and I'm guessing that it's going to move, but that's okay. Don't want to be too hasty. Yeah, they like it, but just a little, though. Sure, yep, already down to 76.5. Okay. All right. Oh, no, back to 77. All right, maybe we'll come back to that one. Numbers also like Penn team total under at 34.5 a bit as well. Penn team total under 34.5 a bit as well. We will make that one an official play. Penn under 34.5. Like this one medium also. Gosh, I like this one medium also. But we're just going to grade it medium small. Penn, medium small, under 34.5. Numbers also like the under, but we'll move on. Look at some of this other stuff. Princeton Brown, 3-75. 3-75. Small lean to Princeton at under 36. They like that a bit. All right, that'll be an official play. Princeton under 36. I'm seeing 115 now, minus 115. That's an official play. Princeton, team total under 36, minus 115. Princeton under 36, minus 115. This also, the numbers like medium, but we'll grade it medium small. Princeton under 36, minus 115, graded medium small. And 3-74.5. Yeah. Not much. All right. So let's move on. Dayton and Davidson. 1.5 and 74.5. Let's see what the number's like. Wow. Jesus. Wow. Nothing on the spread. Small lean to the under and the Davidson team total under, though, at 38. Small lean to the under and the Davidson team total under, though, at 38. Let me just do a little bit of digging around here. Yeah. 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 All right, we'll take Dayton under 38 minus 115 as an official play. Dayton, team total under 38 minus 115 official play. Let's see how I want to grade it. Dayton, under 38 minus 115 as an official play. Numbers like this one, medium small, not medium. The numbers like it, medium small, not medium. Under 38. All right, we'll just grade this one small. We'll grade it small. Dayton, team total under 38 minus 115, graded small. The numbers like it medium small, but we're going to grade it small. And the total of 74. The spread is a pass. Total of 74, though. Let me see. Where are we? Hold on a second. Total of 74. The numbers like the under on that one just a little bit as well. But I don't think I'm going to make that a play. Let me just look around a little, which I have the luxury of doing, because there's a relatively small amount of, the numbers like the under 74 just a little bit, but we're going to pass on that. Okay. Wright State, Northern Kentucky, 3.5 and 77.5. Wright State, Northern Kentucky. Interesting. 3.5 and 77.5. Very small lean to the over, the numbers like here. I think I'm gonna move on though. The over has high confidence, but a very small edge, and then a small lean to Northern Kentucky, but with very low confidence. All right, let's move on. Let's see what else is. Maybe we'll revisit that, but let's look for a little bit lower hanging fruit. Let's look at Harvard Columbia, 5-73. 5-73. Interesting. Harvard Columbia, 5-73. The numbers like Harvard. -5 or -300. They like Harvard here. Oh, they like Harvard here. I don't want to take the fucking -300. I mean, I'll bet it, but I don't want to give it out publicly. Fuck. All right, the numbers like it. If it loses, I'll be fine. I'll make an official play. Harvard -300. I like that one more for EG purposes than the 5. Harvard -300 official play. The numbers like it. Medium, borderline, medium, big. All right, we'll grade it medium. Harvard -300, graded medium. Numbers like it, medium or medium big. Harvard -300, graded medium. And then the total, small lean to the Harvard over at 39. Small lean to the over at 73. Yeah, they like the over here at 73. Hold on one second. Let me just check. Digging around. Numbers like over 73, just a bit. Let me just do a little bit more digging in here. Yeah. Yeah. Just a little bit more digging. 73. They like the over. I'm just digging around just a little bit. Yeah. Okay. All right, the over will make that one a play. Harvard Columbia over 73. Harvard Columbia over 73 official play. Columbia over 73. Official play. The numbers like this one, medium big. Once again, we'll just pull it down a notch. Graded medium. Harvard Columbia over 73, graded medium. They also like the Harvard over 39 a bit as well. But that's correlated with the others, so we'll pass on that one. Okay, let's move on. What else do we have here? Fairfield, Quinnipiac, 4.5 and 69. 4.5, 69. Smalling to Quinnipiac, under 32.5. Again, small edge, but high confidence. Quinnipiac under 32.5, -105, I'm seeing. All right, we'll make that one an official play as well. That's cutting it close, but we'll make it an official play. Quinnipiac under 32.5, -105. Grade on that one. Numbers like it, medium, small. We'll make it, I don't know. That's a tough one. Very tough one. Let me just check quickly. I might just drop that one down to small. Yeah, that will just be rated small. Quinnipiac under 32.5 minus 105. Official play, but graded small. Numbers also a little bit like Fairfield, minus 4.5 and 260. But not a lot. Definitely not a lot. And we'll hold off on that one. Okay, let's see what else we got. Siena Marist, a half and 67. Nothing really. A half and 67. Very small lean to Marist plus a half, but I don't even think I'm going to bet that. Yeah, let's move on from that. Georgia Southern, 4.5 and 81. Let's look at that. Small lean to Georgia State at 4.5 or 270. Small lean to Georgia State over at 43 minus 115. Where's that? All right, Georgia State over 43 minus 115 will be an official play, believe it or not. Georgia State team total over 43 minus 115. Official play. Now let's grade it. The numbers like it medium. Let me just do a little bit of digging here again. See what I actually want to do here. 43. Official play. Just figuring out if I want to grade it medium or medium small. Yeah. All right, we'll grade that one medium small as well. Georgia State over 43. Team total over 43 minus 115. Graded medium small. The numbers also like Georgia State a little bit. Not a lot. And I think that's about it. I think we got to everything. Not that many games, a bunch of plays, a lot of team totals, which is fine. That's what tends to have the most value, what I do here. Yeah, Harvard, Columbia. We took the over. And Harvard, minus 300, both graded medium. Just looking around. Just kind of observing a little bit what's going on here. Okay, I think everything's off the board. Georgia Southern, Georgia State is still there, but, small lean to Georgia State, minus 270 and 4.5. but definitely not going to make that an official play because if the team total over doesn't hit, won't want that one. Everything else on that game, pass, pass, pass. Fairfield, Quinnipiac, again, small lean to Fairfield, even at the big money line. Quinnipiac, team total under 32.5, minus 105, official play. Yeah, the numbers do like Fairfield, though. I don't know, man. I can't give a minus 270 money line on this. Let me just check something here. Just giving this game a second glance. Yeah, no way I'm going to do that. All right. Although the numbers like it. And then Siena Marist, again. Small lean to Siena, team total under at 34. Oh, that's off the board. Okay. All right, that's it. Done. Let's go back to the comment section. Cody AV, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Pistol Pete, asking, what do your numbers say about Texas State +1 and Monmouth? Kobe Valentine, holy shit. Kobe Valentine, are you still watching? There's a guy who fucking knows how to navigate this fucking hell we're in here on earth called life. Shout out to you, Kobe Valentine, for just fucking kind of kicking ass every which way, kicking ass that way, this way, that way, that way. Guy knows how to make the most of this situation we've been handed to us called life. Shout out to you, Kobe Valentine. Kobe Valentine, I'm doing well in this show recently. So huge shout out to Kobe Valentine. Great to see you in the comments section. Earlier in the show, of course, we talked about conferences. I did some research into conferences, mentioned a bunch of conferences that I think might be overvalued, a bunch of conferences that I think might be undervalued coming up. To answer the question, though, Cody AV asking about Texas State and Monmouth. We discussed those games earlier in the show, and I have a pass on both of those. I'll tell you why. Texas Arlington is not a team I want to bet against right now. Texas State is definitely a team I want to bet on right now, but not against a team that I don't want to bet against. This game definitely has second half written all over it. My numbers liked over a little bit. Despite the fact that both are slow-paced teams, my numbers liked over a little bit, but I didn't bet that one either. Definitely a second half written all over it, but it was a complete pass for me. My numbers indicated that, there wasn't much of an edge either way and low confidence any which way that you turned. So total pass for me, and the basic reasoning is both of these teams right now in general, my numbers say are play on teams. And, the ideal situation is when you get a play on team going against a bet against team, right? Fine to have a play on team going up against a neutral team, which happens all the time. When you have two play on teams, very tough to act and pull the trigger. And my numbers indicate that is the case here. So that's a total pass for me. And the Monmouth Rider game, Rich G likes the over, which I can understand. That's also a game that's a complete pass for me. Monmouth usually does well against Rider. My numbers indicated no edge and low confidence. So total pass, definitely a second half written all over it, though. Fast-paced teams that are a little bit unreliable offensively. So it's a total pass, which is completely fine. Both of those games, I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye out for possible second half betting value on. But pregame, pass for me, pass on both of them. Christopher Comatini, shout out to you. Hell yeah, Christopher Comatini. Flipper 13, Pac-12. Let's see, what else do we have? I'll just say a huge shout out to Cheesehead, wherever you are, if you're watching or not. Jeff, a.k.a. Preston, indeed, best knowledge. People underestimate Peter. Yeah, they do. Watch out. We'll see. See what happens in the future. Maybe nothing. Maybe something. People do fucking underestimate. But I understand. It's fucking 2020. You got information flying everywhere. You got millions of people clamoring for attention everywhere on Twitter, on the internet, and everything. It's just a crazy, fucked up world. So it's impossible to estimate anything anywhere. Shout out to you, Jeff, a.k.a. Preston, for the compliment anyway. Really appreciate it. Jeff, a.k.a. Preston, says, this show has a great host. Yeah, no shit, world. No, I'm kidding around. Thank you for the compliment, Jeff, a.k.a. Preston. Fuck, I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much for the compliment, Jeff, a.k.a. Preston. John Doe, huge shout out to you. I don't know if you're still watching, but Brooklyn Funk Project. Loshak, are you a toker? Well, no, but that used to be one of my jokes in the old videos. I used to pretend to take huge hits off of very, very tiny joints. And people thought that was a little bit funny, and it used to get requested. So, no, I actually don't do any drugs at all, but I do pretend to do drugs. I think it's very fun and funny to pretend to do drugs. All drugs, basically, especially pot, but I pretend to do all drugs. I think they're all fun to pretend to do. Absolutely. No question about it. So there's your answer, Brooklyn Funk Project. I don't know if you're still watching. I don't know who the hell is still watching, but I'm still talking about college basketball. Again, I did my research on some of these conferences. Christopher Comatini, can you review real quick? What do you want me to review? The halftime plays or the conferences that I think are going to be overvalued or undervalued? What would you like me to review? Christopher Comatini, yes. Christopher Comatini asking me to review. We've got almost 6% of the audience right now asking me to review. So what would you would you like? Halftime. Oh, sure. Well, I mean, you can't. I think they're all gone. But yes, I took in the Ohio game. That's off the board, obviously. Over 75 small. Dartmouth team total under 33 medium small. Cornell -1 medium small. UPenn team total under 34.5 medium small. Princeton team total under 36 -115 medium small. Dayton team total under 38 -115 small. Harvard money line -300 graded medium. Harvard Columbia game over 73 graded medium. Quinnipiac team total under 32.5 -105 graded small. And Georgia State team total over 43 -115 graded medium small. There you go. Chris Comatini. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Pete, Flipper 13. Pete, can you pretend to do a bong hit for the 95% of low backers that partake? Yes, I can. But if you don't mind, I'd like to do that maybe sometime next week, Monday or Tuesday, when I have more energy. Because right now, I'm just spent. My energy is depleted. And I don't want to do something like that I love doing half-assed. You know what I mean? I put all my energy into handicapping these games, all my focus and time into making sure that I can give the best picks and the best show possible. That means that I'm all spent right now and don't have any extra energy saved for unexpected joke requests and shtick requests. I love you, Flipper 13. If this can wait till Monday or Tuesday next week, I'd really appreciate it. There you go. Hell yeah, Flipper 13. That's all good. You the best, my friend. That's about it. That Nasty 8 says, do you indulge in alcoholic beverages? Sure, I do. And also, you can't pretend to drink. Like, that's the same thing as drinking like a coffee or something, you know? So, yeah, sure. Rich G, shout out to you. Funny people in the comment section. We few, we happy few. I hope to God that these picks win and that the losers come when all the fair weather friends are watching, which is counterintuitive, right? You want the picks to do the best when most people are watching, but not me. I want the people who are here dedicated to get the top picks, and then all the fair weather friend fuck faces who just tune in for a second for no reason to get the losers, if there are any. Obviously, I wish there were no losers at all, but there are going to be losers. That's it. Shout out to you, Tito Banton. Shout out to you, Tito Banton. Hell yeah. Peace out, Pete. Hashtag Low Shack Army. Shout out to you, Tito Banton. And on that note, we'll wrap it up, and we'll be back Monday. I love you.